what if I told you you could get a free security health check of your OCI tenancy? This health check assesses the security posture of a tenancy against the best practices that are outlined within the Centre for Internet Security benchmark for OCI. This health check provides a detailed report that outlines both the good and the bad, including practical remediation guidance for any issues that have been identified. It can be used to benchmark a tenancy and then, for example, run it regularly, for example, each month, to identify any new issues. The tool is simple to run and easy to understand, as the heavy lifting has been done for you. And it means you don't have to read the CIS benchmark document for OCI, which is a whopping 219 pages of guidance. I'll now step through the steps of running this within your tenancy. Okay, we're now logged into my OCI tenancy as an administrator user. It's worth pointing out that you need to make sure that the user that you run the security health check with has sufficient permissions to the tenancy being analysed. The GitHub repository for the security health check tool includes full details of the permissions required. I'll include a link to that below. So the easiest way to run security health check is actually to use Cloud Shell. So if we click into Developer Tools and then click Cloud Shell, and once this has launched, we can run some commands. So the very first command that we'll run is a command to actually download the tool itself. So I'll just quickly paste this in here. And we should see now, if I list that directory, that we now have the Security Health Check tool downloaded locally within my Cloud Shell. The next thing that we need to do is to unzip the toolset, and I will just run this command to unzip it. Now it's been unzipped, we need to cd into the directory. And then the last command we need to run before we start the health check is to just change the permissions on the script that actually performs the health check. So I will just run this now. And once we've done that, we can then run the script itself, which is as simple as this command. Now what that will do is go off to your tenancy, collect a bunch of information about the configuration of your tenancy and the services within it. It will then compare that to the CIS guidance for OCI, including producing a comprehensive report that outlines any potential issues that have been identified, and also a bunch of CSV and Excel files that allow you to drill a little bit further into detail of any of those issues that have been identified. The health check itself can take some time to run, so I'm going to pause this and come back once it's finished. Okay, so the health check has now completed, and we have our report file, which is a zip file. What we now need to do is to download that locally so that we can have a look at the report and the other supporting information a little bit more closely. And the way to do that is we grab the name of the actual output zip file. We then hit this little settings cog here, select download, paste the name of the file there, and then hit the download button. And then what should happen shortly is that should be downloaded locally to my machine so that we can take a closer look at the output report. Okay, so the zip file has now downloaded to my local machine. What we'll do is we'll just double click this to extract it. And then what we should get is a folder here that contains a wealth of information that's been collected as part of the health check. Now the key piece of information is the actual HTML report, which contains essentially the output of the health check itself. So if we double click into this now, and I move this here, we can now see a nice pretty report that provides some insight into the tenancy. As you can see, my test tenancy isn't in very good shape. We've got 57% of the items that were analysed are actually non-compliant. But the report's actually really useful. So you can see both the compliant configurations that you have, and also, more importantly, the non-compliant. And for each issue identified, it provides some details of the issue itself, potential remediation steps, how it aligns to the CIS guidance, and it also actually includes a link to some further information that has been collected. So for example, if we click this issue here, it will present a CSV file, and we can see some further information about the data collected that has generated that specific issue. If we go to the details section, this is where it contains a little bit more prescriptive guidance on each potential issue that has been identified. It's really good. So if you spot a bunch of issues that are non-compliant, some configurations need to be changed, you can use this as a reference to provide guidance on exactly what needs to be done to remediate that specific issue, including links to any relevant supporting resources. So essentially that's the security health check. Very simple to run, but a very powerful tool. And it's certainly something I'd recommend you run regularly against your tenancy. It takes very little effort, so to run it once a month just ensures that your tenancy is in ship shape and any potential security issues are detected, and gives you the opportunity to remediate them as soon as possible. So thanks a lot for listening today.